Actually, legally, I'm William F. Pettit, Jr., and I'm a psychiatrist. I've been a psychiatrist. Well, I've been starting studying psychiatry in 1974, so it's been 37 years, and about 10 years into that study of psychiatry, I was exposed to the three principles of mind, thought, and consciousness by Mr. Sidney Banks, and actually originally Dr. George Pransky here introduced me to Mr. Banks, and it changed my life. And as I've said many times, it understanding or getting an appreciation of these three universal principles helped me move from being a mental illness professional, which I'd been for nearly 10 years, to truly being a mental health professional. Well, you know, as a psychiatrist, there's really two things that you have. You have your knowledge of well, I guess three. You have your knowledge of what people, how people behave, and what happens biochemically when people get lost, and we call it mental illness. And then you have your knowledge of the medications that man has made in an attempt to try to remedy those conditions that we call mental illness. And the third thing that you have is an understanding of how that happens, and what you might be able to do other than medications to both prevent it from happening before it's happened and to try to remedy it after it happens. And before I learned the three principles, I didn't meet anybody that had a whole lot of hope that you could really remedy, either prevent or really make a lot of remedy to the people with mental illness. You could maybe try to, well, you know, obviously I grew up in a period where the whole psychodynamic, the whole take people back into the past and find the roots of their mental illness, and so a lot of time was spent in trying to take people back through their past and to find and then people get to be justified for being miserable, you know, because they've got good reasons now. And I, even as myself, as I struggled with depression for a number of years, in and out of depression from age 16 to 41 until I met Mr. Banks. And I had a lot of good reasons why I was going in and out of depression. Well, once I saw the principles, I saw that I want to be politically correct here, but that was hogwash. That it was really what I was doing moment to moment with this incredible gift that I've been given called thought, and that I was using this gift moment to moment to experience life. And I also became aware that there was, in this connection to what Mr. Banks would call mind, universal principle of mind, there was a wisdom that beyond the intellect that I had access to every moment of my life if I was allowed, could understand enough to allow my mind to quiet down so that I could be present in my life and listen and hear and be, if you will, guided through life rather than having to think that I had to analytically figure out what to do every moment of my life. Very different. And once I started to see it for myself, and I started to experience a level of peace, we throw that word around, but of quiet, of more and more times where I just felt fine. I felt contented. I didn't feel in need of anything to make me feel better. As I experienced more and more moments of that for myself, I you know, obviously thought this is something that I now have something to be able to point people to in my practice of psychiatry that's much more powerful than any pill that has ever been invented, because I've never seen a pill, and nor do I think I ever will see a pill that people can take and have peace of mind. They might have less suffering, or less voices, or a little less depression, or less anxiety, but I've never seen a pill that can give people peace of mind.